Hello, my name's Jackie Down and I'm from a company called Big Data for Analytics. We're a management consultancy organisation working with business leaders across multiple industries. We are experienced leaders with strong technology, industry and advisory experience with a dedicated focus on big data. In today's presentation, I'm going to start to demystify what big data is. Firstly, let's start with the business case for big data. It's been proved that organisations that have implemented a big data solution have a 26% greater profitability than their industry peers, and that gives them a 6 to 9% performance improvement over the industry average. Also, big data is about market leadership as well, and for most businesses it's increasingly defined by the capacity to rapidly react to and accurately to the changes in the market and obviously customer needs. It's also important about anticipating market needs and to out-innovate the competition. From a venture capital point of view, for the first half of 2013, $1.28 billion has been invested. So, big data, is it a technology wave? Or is it a business transformation wave? Well, at Big Data for Analytics, we firmly believe it's a business transformation. If we look, big data has been dubbed the new oil for the 21st century. Well, it does have the capacity to transform enterprises and even societies. Has it been fully justified yet? Perhaps not. But I think the fact is a lot of the industry is puzzling how to use big data to uncover new opportunities, to improve efficiencies and to minimise risks. So what is big data? Put big data into Google and it'll come up with multiple things. Big data is all about the data, and you'll hear things like the 3 V's, the 5 V's, etc. Well, quite simply, big data is around data and the complexity of the data, and the first V is around volume, the size of the data. The second V is around variety. That's all the different data sources that could be coming in from your customer relationship management system, from your finance system, your email, etc. And the speed of change, the velocity, so how much data is actually coming in. So I think one of the simplest definitions is data that's an order of magnitude greater than the data you're accustomed to. So why have we got data proliferation? Well, quite simply, more information is being recorded. Let's take the humble till receipt. A few years ago, that's what it was. Today, it's a mass of webs, blogs, and all sorts of information. We as customers, we're expecting more personalisation and we want more relevance. And companies today have to keep, there's a lot more regulation and compliance, so they have to keep more detailed records in case they need to retrieve them at a later date for investigation. Even things like call centres, we all know this information has been recorded for training purposes, etc. And also we have the ability now to look at finer grain data, so things like oil field analysis moving from 2D to 3D to now 4-dimensional, and weather forecasting, we can now go down to 1 kilometre grid. Also, there's lots of internet-connected sensors in fridges, in cars, and all sorts of things. And we all have smartphones and we can post anything, anytime, anywhere, and buy anything, anytime, anywhere. And there's this new frontier of which we call unstructured data that's coming from social media, blogs and forums. And this data now can be used to react in real time for things like fraud detection, online product recommendation. It's all this data that's coming at such a speed, and it's the last 2 years it's been said that 80 to 90% of the world's data has been generated. And I think if you look at what happens every 60 seconds, 98,000 tweets, you can understand how this data is accumulating. And if we look at some examples and by what we call velocity, so that's the speed of the data, and the data variety, the different types of data. So things like fraud detection has to be done in real time. If it's already happened, you can't really do anything about it. Things like voice analytics, there's a lot of velocity. Does it have to be done in real time? That's perhaps depending on the application. And things like medical images, there's an awful lot of data, and it's very much it's unstructured video images. Again, it's not in real time, but it's really that your hospital consultant can actually look at that in conjunction with other things. So again, there's different applications needed to be done in real time and the different types of variety. And if we look at the different industry use cases, big data, I'm not going to go into all of them. We will be doing some industry specialised webinars at a later date. But if I take a few, if we look at financial services, we look to that industry to improve risk decisions and detect fraud. Things like transportation, if you've got a set of fleet vehicles on the road, you have to keep them going. So things like doing maintenance optimisation is a very key driver and a cost, and things like weather and traffic impact on logistics and fuel consumption by actually prioritising routes, and actually if you can save fuel, that has a huge cost to the operating line. And obviously we're probably quite familiar in things like e-commerce, where analysing our behaviour, looking at multi-channel sales analysis and optimisation, and obviously more and more real-time recommendation engines. I've just touched on a few of these big data industry use cases that can actually give good insight and allow you to actually innovate. So big data can produce a great insight that can drive business growth. And big data is different. So I'm sure a lot of you said, but we've always had data. That's true. But big data now is different because of all the different data sources and the way that things like CCTV, a few years ago, we had no way of capturing that and digitising it. It's also the scale of the data. I mentioned so much data is being created today, and the timeless of that data, the data coming in real time. But big data has to be all about information discovery. Without doing some information discovery, you're not going to gain the benefit. And there's lots of tools and techniques that enable organisations such as yourself to extract the hidden value from all data sources and types across your organisation. And big data allows you to see the entire picture. And with information discovery, it allows us to drill into trends and patterns previously hidden with multiple data sets and different data sources. And if we look at this is a well-known pizza company. It's in Manhattan, and it's actually a pizza delivery driver on a Friday night, and that helps you visualize. And with big data you can then optimize the route, etc. And it has obviously other applications. And also if we look about drilling down into information around, say, social media, finding out sentiment, how the customers are feeling about your brands, how your products, which social networks are they using, what devices are they using, and who's talking the most about my brands, what are they saying, and where are they, what time zone, what location, etc. So you can get a whole picture, and actually analysing some of that social data can give you good business insight. So how do you start this journey with big data? I'm sure some of you are saying, it's too huge, we haven't got all the data. Well, don't wait for your data to be complete. You can still create business value. Focus on a limited set of outcomes. Don't try to do everything at once. Start your journey. Look at what the best business question is to start with, to answer and get some insight. So, and if you'd like to contact us to find out more, then please email me, jackie.down@bigdataforanalytics.com, or you can find us on the web, www.bigdata4analytics.com. I'd like to thank you very much for watching this short presentation today.